And we're back. So welcome back, guys. We are going into the third place match here. So these players still have something on the line. I think it's a difference of $50 in prize money and the GEICO points, which if you place well with the GEICO points, you can get entered into the tournaments anyways because they have spots for the top earners of the points. So these guys do still really want to win this series. I'm joined, of course, by Chucky, who's been casting with me all day. Welcome.
Yep. This match, might not have a lot of value to, you at first glance, but those GEICO points, like you said, the top two GEICO points earners in both regions actually just get a direct seed to the finals at PAX Prime. So definitely a lot on the line. Also, little chunk of change, $50 for the winner of this game. PP Cookie and Handsome Guy also just really looking to kind of show themselves off. They don't get that much time in the limelight. Handsome Guy's qualified for a bit of stuff before, but whenever you qualify for streamed events, you really do want to just do your best no matter what. Even if you lose, third place still something to be proud of.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough because you get here and you feel like, oh, I lost, right? But you've had to win so many to get here. You should still really be proud of any progress you made because thousands of players have fallen by this time.
Yep, these are giant open tournaments. Hundreds of players compete. So top four does get you those GEICO points, does get you some World Championship points as well. So they definitely have something to show for their hard work and effort, and hopefully we'll see them again in the future and have some tight races for those GEICO point standings going into the later qualifiers.
So in this match, we have a Druid again, so of course we'll probably have the Spectator bug, but they both bring Patron Warrior. We didn't get to see Handsome Guy play his other decks yet, so I'm not actually sure that it's Patron Warrior, but saw Pippy Cookie play his.
I think the ultimate tilt here for Handsome Guy is just bringing Druid the fourth time in a row.
Yeah.
Going for the potential 0-6 with Druid. That would not be fun for him.
Yeah, I mean, like, he might just be used to leading with Druid, but I really do hope he picks something different. Having gone 0-3 with it, you just would not be able to make the best decisions in that mindset.
I wouldn't mind him picking it first, but if you lose with it again, might be time to switch just to clear your mind.
It could be like a tactical pick to pick it first, and that your opponent maybe was just watching those games, so they think there's no way he's actually going to pick Druid first now.
Yeah, nobody expects you to throw a rock 4 times in a row. We will see what he picked. Looks like PB Cookie went with Hunter first, so that's going to be that hybrid Hunter deck. And Handsome Guy went with Warrior. So changing things up, we're going to get to see his Warrior deck.
Good start. He's got a Leper Gnome. Ooh, that curves out beautifully, actually. And against a Warrior, the Warrior didn't have an answer to the Leper Gnome, so suddenly there's a lot of face damage.
Yeah. The double Savannah High main also lots of good stuff in this matchup. Basically, if you can curve Savannah High main into Savannah High main, very hard to deal with. Pushes a lot of face damage, and especially with the Wolf Riders and Arcane Golems in his deck, it can really push some, just enough to end up killing the Warrior late game. And now this Unstable Bull is really not that great because of the Glaive Zuka buff.
No, I mean, it still killed the Leper Gnome, so you're probably okay with that.
Yeah.
But this opening is just going to be absolutely brutal. If Pibby can put anything together for turn 4 or 5, like, he doesn't even need to get something on both of those, but just a single turn with the okay play, and then into double high main is going to be ridiculous because the Warrior's already taken so much. There's no way the high mains won't go face, and then you just can't kill them that fast.
Yep. It is going to be a pretty weak turn from the Warrior here, but like you said, the Hunter really needs to draw something to piece together in this next turn or two. And Leper Gnome, it's average enough. You get to squeeze in the hero power as well, so
Yeah, the fact that the Wolf Rider survived, I think, is
Yeah, 6
the
damage
game's
from
almost over.
that guy. Oh man. Yeah, it always feels really bad when it's like, you know, you're facing down a lot of face damage, you're kind of stabilizing, and then suddenly Savannah High Mains. That is kind of what the Hybrid Hunter tries to do, and it's working pretty beautifully, but Double Armor Smith definitely good to stabilize.
Yeah, that double armor smith is really intimidating here for the hunter. You might kill command one of them this turn, just knowing that you have such big creatures coming up later to deny any like whirlwind shenanigans of getting 8 health per turn.
Yeah. You're definitely afraid of those armor smiths, especially with like the haunted creeper. Almost becomes a liability against double armor smith. It's at most pushing 1 damage, and at worst it gains your opponent like 6 armor. So really just kind of an awkward spot now, and with the execute in hand for warrior, Peepy Cookie suddenly not in a great spot. So yeah, I would like to see a kill command on that armor smith. You're definitely with the double Savannah High Main, you can go for a more late game push. Yeah, kill commanding face does not make sense here.
The rope is burning.
Oh god, why? Alright, so we're gonna count how much armor Armor Smith gains him. Because he basically just made a play that says, I don't think Armor Smith is going to gain you more than 5 life.
Yeah, I don't.
1. So
Okay.
the count begins.
So he'll gain 6 armor just
2.
this turn alone. He gets 3 attacks, and each one getting 2 armor.
So that's 3 armor so far. So for the first turn, the kill command comes out 2 damage ahead, but it really isn't relevant because your opponent's still at 14.
Yeah. And 1 more trade, and it's even with the kill command. Anything beyond that,
Oh,
kill
man.
command should have gone to Armor Smith.
Yep. I would have liked to see kill command on Armor Smith. Maybe it wouldn't have even mattered, but now Patron Warrior really looking to take over the game with an execute this turn.
You think? Huh. Yeah, I guess. You can't actually kill the hounds, though.
Could he have? He could have killed both of them. He still can. Yeah, he can clear them.
Yeah,
He can clear the board. He does lose. No, he's not going to lose his Armor Smith if he trades with the 10-4, which is a strange play, but I think it could just be correct here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you would want to save that for, like, you just know if you gain a lot of health, the hunter is running out of stuff. You have an acolyte, you have weapons, like, you're going to be fine, even if the frothing does die to, like, a quick shot.
Yeah, you know it's the hybrid hunter, so really the only way they're going to win is by doing a lot of charge damage. I mean, this is fine as well, just ignoring 1.
Yeah.
Is there any way he could die doing this? I really don't. Yeah, there's no way. So
double kill command plus abusive sergeant, I think would kill.
Well,
it.
he already used 1 kill command, so it'd have to be like kill command double quick shot. Would that be? That'd be exact. All right, so we found a way he could have lost, but
you always got to take a gamble like that against a hunter. Really, it's pretty rare you can say like nothing at all will kill me. But
well, I think this game actually probably could have. Just double armor smith creates some crazy circumstances, but the hunter actually did the trading for him, and now things aren't looking good for the hunter.
Yeah. I mean, it's not looking good for the hunter, but then the warrior, well, battle rage is great. I was going to say that the warrior only gets 1 card this turn from the acolyte, and he doesn't really have any good creatures to play, but suddenly he's getting an enormous number of cards.
Yeah.
And I think it's all over.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he can just ignore Savannah High Main even. It's only going to do 6. He's at 16.
Can't. He can kill the Just the entire hymen, I guess. There's no way to kill the hunter yet.
How much do you demoralize your opponent is the real question. Do you really make him feel bad? You just grind him out?
I wonder why he traded the loot hoarder. He could have used the taskmaster on the.
This is really interesting. He's just like playing his cards.
Doesn't even really care anymore.
He has so many ways to clear this. Yeah.
You throw the inner rage on the hound. No, you trade. There's like a lot of questions of value there if you really took the time to consider it in a closer fight, but that just does not matter.
Yeah, really doesn't matter in this game. So, PP Cookie going to concede.
You know,
Handsome Guy gets a win on the board finally.
That was a good game by Handsome Guy. PP Cookie made a mistake by not kill commanding the Armor Smith, but I don't know if it would have mattered. Like, he actually had a really good opening into double high main, and he still kind of lost convincingly.
Yeah, the Wolf Rider, kind of the hybrid hunter deck, it plays a lot of fragile minions early on. So, like, the Wolf Rider on 3 gets 6 damage, but 6 damage only really matters if you can kill your opponent.
Yeah.
And with double Armor Smith, you're suddenly forced into this game where, like you said, you have to kill command and Armor Smith. You have to play for board. And Wolf Rider, not a good card at playing for board. A lot of hunter decks don't run it. The aggro deck sometimes even doesn't run it. It's kind of being phased out as it's very weak to stuff like Whirlwind and doesn't help you fight for board. But yeah, we really saw the hybrid hunter kind of fall flat that game, and maybe just a more mid-range or more aggro hunter would have succeeded.
Yeah, I think the like full aggression hunter would have done better there because he got so much early face damage. If he could have just kept charging, it looked like a better opportunity.
Yeah, one of the really key turns last game was him not having a good turn 4.
Yeah,
he had Leopardome hero power. Something like a Shredder would have been much, much better.
So this match, Rogue versus Zoo Warlock. I like this match. It can go either way. I'd say the options are often more in the Rogue's hand for how they want to like prepare and set up for a very specific turn where they remove everything. And the Warlock is trying to do a lot of damage, but also just create problems that the Rogue might not be able to deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting matchup. They can really go either way. Rogue basically kind of playing a control side of things, and the Warlock sort of an aggressor, but, you know, these Warlock decks, even the Zoo decks have been getting slower. Mal'Ganis, Voidcaller, stuff like that really turns it into more of a mid-range deck that can flip on the aggression switch. But with stuff like Sap and even a big game hunter tech coming out from Handsome Guy, it's going to be really tough to go for that more aggressive line, or rather the more mid-range line where you create bigger threats.
This is always a good play. Void Terror on an egg. You get a 3/5 and a 4/4 for 3 mana.
Yep.
Pretty sweet.
Looks like Handsome Guy's immediate thought was, I'll just play Shredder. And I would say that's pretty good. You basically go for the challenge on the 4/4. You're kind of willing to wait to play these removal spells like Eviscerate and SI Agent. They do kind of just get better as the game goes on.
I kind of thought he would save the backstab there. Like, this is a good setup on the board, but he saved backstab. His next turn could be backstab, SI, and Eviscerate all together. Now he has no combo to get that like play unlocked.
Well, I actually really like this because it makes the Shredder challenge the 4/4, whereas before the 3/5 would just kind of eat it up. The 4/4 would eat the remains. I guess in that regard, you would then be able to clean up the board with Backstab, Fan of Knives, potentially Eviscerate or SI Agent. So, really either way, he'd be pretty okay. But
see, now he has this really awkward situation where he doesn't... Oh, and he picked up Flurry too, so that sucks that he used the weapon. But if he had the Backstab available to kill Juggler, and then SI on the 3/5, which would have 1 health, and then Eviscerate the 4/4, and there would only be a creeper left. but he can't get the combo for SI Agent now.
Yeah, he was very proactive with that backstab, valuing kind of the shredder. And so now that he's saved the shredder, it's like, all right, trade into the 4/4. Go ahead. But like you said, not a great way to proc this SI Agent. Which otherwise would be great SI Agenting a Knife Juggler.
You don't really want to play the fan, I don't think. Not until you kill the creeper. Like, you could do fan, dagger, attack the juggler is okay. But using the fan before the creeper death rattle doesn't feel great.
Yeah, I think this is okay. Really just pushing for the board development. Kind of uses these spells more inefficiently, but gets through the juggler and puts himself ahead on board.
If only he had saved for the double juggler here, he could get double jugglers with Haunted Creeper and a creature drop as well for like 6 juggle damage. But
oh man.
he'll get still a good number of juggles and probably kill off the Murloc easy.
Yeah, he can get 4 juggles here. I mean, the Iron Beak Owl in this matchup, not usually going to get great value. I think the big deal here, though, is no matter what he does, he is going to be very sad to see a Phantom Knives come out.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, you're right that the silence isn't too useful. You can silence Shredder or Fanclef, really.
So he's got a 66%. Yeah.
I got one.
Got rid of 1. Ooh, the Deadly Poison's actually interesting here. He could have saved the 3/1. But yeah, I think it's fine to hold on to it. Flurry is generally a better card than Fan of Knives, when Fan of Knives does the same thing on this board, essentially.
So this is when the battle gets kind of interesting, right? The Rogue has taken his moment to clear the board, but the Rogue doesn't have any creatures left, so the Warlock can kind of just keep playing stuff.
That's a mistake.
Could have coined there, yeah. And then
yeah, he could have coined out a life tap afterward, but just kind of misses the opportunity.
So you think face here?
Yeah, I think that Doomguard's hitting face.
Trades well on the left tap.
Yeah, but your opponent's at 13.
Yeah, I think you probably go face too.
Ooh, especially with that. Get him for 7. And so now the Rogue is basically in complete defensive position. He actually has the option. Ooh. I don't think you can play that this turn. I think you have to flurry.
Yep.
And I actually think you could afford to go to 1 health by attacking into the Doomguard first.
Oh, really? I would probably trade the low pad. Right now he's safe to 2nd Doomguard. And that's really the only...
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But
you're also safe to maybe like Bane of Doom. But...
yeah, Bane of Doom. I think that's a reasonable gamble, because there's like 18 cards left.
I'd go to 1.
We'll see what he draws. We'll see if Chalky would die next turn.
He's thinking about it. I mean, you die, what, like 10% of the time, maybe? No, it'd be lower than that because there's only 1 Doomguard left.
When I have a heal bot in my hand, it feels like such a crime to die without playing the heal bot, you know? So as soon as I have a heal bot,
you also have to kill your opponent.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, hitting him in the face helps.
Yeah.
Oh,
go to
man.
1, handsome guy. Oh, save the BGH, though. Don't play the BGH, please. Oh, jeez. Alright, well... oh, I guess he can't Mal'Ganis yet. Okay, I thought he had 9 mana.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
There it is.
1 mana off, though. That would have required the BGH and buff that trade. Is he dead? No.
No, not quite. He's 3 damage here. Ooh, but that might as well be 3 damage. That should lock up the game. So handsome guy goes to 1, but stabilizes with the heals, and looks to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a really great risk he took there, and it paid off.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely agree with it. I mean, you can't be too afraid going to 1 health against Zoo. He saw both knife jugglers. He'd seen a Doomguard. It's not that great of a risk. I mean, it's like about a 1 in 20 twice over, so...
It would feel so bad to lose, though. To
It
lose
would.
the top deck
It would.
Doomguard and to see that heal bot in hand. I can't suffer that fate.
You can't? Alright.
I'm always a wussy about it.
Well, by saving the Lotheb, he did push for lethal a bit earlier, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, with the Lotheb, because otherwise it would take him probably 3 turns to kill, and there would be a lot more draws that you'd have to deal with.
Well, Handsome Guy's up 2-0, but the deck he has yet to win with is the deck he got 3-0'd with last match, which is his Druid. So, he's not out of the woods quite yet, but he's very close.
This match is really on the opening curve of the Druid. If you get a good opening curve, it's going to set you up. If you have a bad opening curve, you might just get overrun by turn 4.
Yeah, the Imp Gang boss change in terms of the interaction with Swipe is actually extremely important, especially as the Zoo rather than even more so than the Dragon Warlock, because basically it always leaves you with something to Argus, whereas before Swipe would actually just clear your entire board.
So he could have actually played turn 1 Shredder there. He chose to save the coin, which, you know, is reasonable, but turn 1 Shredder into a Voidwalker is pretty tempting.
Yeah, especially against Zoo, where basically if you stay ahead on the board early, you're in pretty great shape.
Well, and to me, the way that gets punished is Abusive Sergeant on the Voidwalker, but then your turn 2 would be Hero Power to kill the Abusive Sergeant, so you'd still be playing curve.
You'd be super happy if you abused it, because you'd still get an attack out of the Shredder from the second body. Your opponent's basically giving you Wind Fury, and you get to Hero Power off the Abusive.
Oh, you need a swipe now. Maybe not quite yet, but...
Yeah. Sylvanas is actually surprisingly okay. Well, against Implosion is one of the things that's weaker too, but it can create some weird board states where it basically acts like a taunt, because if you're not close enough to getting lethal, then Sylvanas is essentially a taunt. Handsome Guy not happy to see Argus here, though, especially with the 2-3 drop from his Shredder. This is a very dominant board position for the Zoo player.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could have Implosion there too, but I think I like the Argus play. Getting Argus on
Argus is great here.
Divine Shield is always pretty amazing.
Yep. I really like to play minions before spells in this matchup.
Handsome Guy just feeling the pressure of the Druid right now. He has absolutely no play in Sand.
Oh, man. Flashbacks coming back as he's about to lose his 4th match with Druid in a row. Just needs to pick up 1 win.
Oh, does this Savage Roar even do anything? Lets him kill the 2-2.
That's it.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Feels bad, man.
Definitely. Keeps getting worse, too.
Yeah. It's going to be a slow, painful defeat from what it looks like. A swipe would be good, but I don't think it'd be enough. He's taking so much damage. What did he draw? Okay. That won't help much. The Direwolf functions so well against taunt creatures. Almost to the point where he might as well have just charged it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he has so many 1/1s on the board that Direwolf is just paying off.
Charging it into the Direwolf would have essentially gained him the same effective health.
Do you think he should have implosioned first before trading all... Like, at least before trading the Divine Shield, I think he should have implosioned. But he would have had a risk of the board being full, and yet if it did 4 damage, it was probably still worth it, even though you'd only get the 3 imps.
Yeah, potentially. That way you could just kind of shift some of the damage to the face. But obviously, not going to matter in this game, as Handsome Guy basically had nothing going for him. He did have that Innervate, but the Shredder got dealt with really well by Imp Gang Boss into Argus. And PP Cookie kind of on a comeback train now.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that he can punish well, I think it is a Druid deck. A mid-range Hunter and a Patron Warrior could both easily take games from the Druid.
Yep, so we're going to get into game 4 ASAP here. And we see another Innervate from Handsome Guy, but also pretty good hand from PP Cookie with the Despite.
There are those swipes he was needing last game.
Yeah.
Do you think you just keep the whole hand as PP Cookie? That's a pretty good hand.
Yeah, the Emperor is a little debatable. You basically have to weigh the risk of if you can get off a clean Emperor turn against Druid with the tools you have. Dread Corsair works pretty well with the Despite. Acolyte gives you draw with the Despite. You could just keep the whole hand, yeah. But decides, I think, to go for more aggressive mulligan, and he kind of got rewarded by drawing that Patron.
Yeah. Needs Death, or not Deathbite. Inner Rage or Whirlwind now. He can set up his ultimate Patron opening.
Yeah, and not a good start for Handsome Guy again. It's kind of been a common trend.
He has an Innervate. It's not that bad.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything to innervate out, though, quite yet.
So he can Innervate Boom on 5, which would be the same turn that Patrons were coming into play.
Yeah. Ouch.
Oh, man. Just sheer power and pass, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll get to silence the Acolyte next turn, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
You actually know that you're playing into silence, so you could potentially like coin Gnomish Inventor since you don't have the play for Patron yet anyways, and then just wait.
It's interesting to note, if your opponent goes Keeper on your Acolyte, you do just get to Despite it and set up for basically what is a perfect Patron turn.
Yeah, now it's not only a perfect Patron turn, but he has the potential for the Unstable Ghoul to give him a 6 Patron instead of just a 4.
So I think this Keeper isn't even good. It's just like a reason to Despite, essentially. I mean, he would have happily just like Despited face, but
at this point you might be a little concerned that you're going to have too many creatures on the board when the Patrons come down. Yeah. Because he has so much Patron potential there, you want to maximize how many you can fit, and you can get up to 6 if the Ghoul is still alive.
I also think he's just kind of thinking, if he kills off that Ghoul and he Whirlwinds twice, the Dread Corsair just becomes a 3-1. You'd much rather have it be a 3-2. Helps you a lot more against Hero Power, Wrath, Swipe.
If the Ghoul dies and you Whirlwinds twice, the Dread Corsair actually dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, lots of Whirlwind stuff gonna happen.
This Handsome Guy really thinking about not playing Dr. Boom? He's had this Innervate Dr. Boom the whole time.
Yeah, he has the option. Dr. Boom, taunt. You can't taunt. Or you can't feel happy about taunting, rather. I think you charge.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, this gets punished
so ugly.
It's
so ugly. Oh, God.
Pippy Cookie leans in close as he prepares to lay waste to the board here.
It's like, let's make sure we do this correctly. I think you go Grim Patron, trade in the Unstable Ghoul, Dread Corsair, and then you use your weapon.
Do you use the... I don't think you play the Dread Corsair here. The Acolyte will still be alive when the round of Patrons is coming, so you'll miss a Patron.
Oh, are you going to Whirlwind, too?
Oh, I would Whirlwind. You get 6 out of it. I can trade the Acolyte.
You can even trade in the Acolyte, yeah. In which case you'd go coin Whirlwind first. See, I don't like Whirlwinding too much here. How many more Patrons do you even get?
You would have 6
6?
Patrons. Yeah, if your board's empty. In this case, like, he gets 4. Obviously, it's a great position. I would have liked the Patrons, because if you have 6 and there's nothing else on the board...
6 Patrons, yeah.
There's no way you can remove that as a druid. This is still a good position because he only has 6 creatures, so
The Dread
it's still
Corsair is
impossible.
really important here because it blocks out some of the Force of Nature potential. I don't think it matters too much with 4 patrons, but yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Wrath Swipe is just barely off of being able to do anything here, really.
I think Wrath and silence the full health one, and then you try to swipe next turn, but like you're taking
Okay.
damage each turn, which is
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Looks like he's just going to deal with 2 of the patrons. He could point or innervate out the Wrath to deal with a 3rd.
it's a good play.
He's hoping he gets to swipe off this last patron next turn.
So do you Whirlwind now just to spawn an extra one, which is not super effective.
Yeah, it's really not that great.
If only he had had 6 patrons, he would still have 3 patrons left.
Yeah, the 6 patron play might have been nice.
That was a really good play for the Druid there. He had 2 Force of Natures anyways, and then he stops the immediate damage from the board, which is the big problem. Like, eventually you can kill all of this stuff as long as the warrior doesn't have amazing things to go with it. But if you're taking 10 damage a turn, you just kind of run out of time before you can actually kill it all.
I think the frothing here would be really good. The Whirlwind is interesting, though, because he took an unnecessary damage on his Gnomish. I wonder if he was digging for something. Maybe if he drew Battle Rage off of Gnomish, it'd be better to play Gnomish first, so there's that. Also Inner Rage, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was correct to dig first, but... The second Innervate lets him clear, and the patrons are dealt with for now. Surprisingly.
Oh, right as he draws the War Song, too.
Yeah. You could War Song this turn. Get a draw off Acolyte, clear off the board, put out another, basically a threat with this War Song here.
Yeah, I like this play. You've seen him use so much of his damage already, you're kind of thinking, alright, he's probably not going to have more damage left to actually kill that.
Of course he does, but yeah, I think we might see this turn into one of those really grindy matches where the Druid tries to win by taunting out at the end of the game. The Warrior deck does have limited damage, and with one of those War Songs out of the way, there is a very real possibility he just kind of runs out of stuff, but he will get an extra draw off Acolyte. So I would say the Warrior is definitely still favored here.
Do you think playing the second Force there is good? Like, we can see his hand, and I think that probably Dr. Boom would have been a little stronger just because there's only a frothing to charge, but you don't know what he has, so there's a big gamble in that.
You do have to be a little concerned about War Song. I think mentally it's one of those cards that you see in your mind's like, clear, clear, clear. Do not let that live. But yeah, I mean, potentially Dr. Boom, maybe he should have just kind of taken a risk. Could have gone badly, but the Boombots always give you that chance that your opponent can't go for that Whirlwind combo to kill you. I mean, looking at the draws that happened, I think with the Unstable Ghoul into Frothing, he actually could have had lethal if the Boombots didn't go into the Frothing, but not sure he would have taken that risk, really. I mean, Swipe's pretty good here. Gets to keep clearing off. And assuming the Death Spite's going to go into this 4/4, he is running low on stuff, and Gnomish is a really good pickup in that situation.
This is such a close fight now. Like, both players are just running on kind of empty here, trying to draw what they can each turn and just find a little advantage to push over the edge.
Yeah, and now I think Handsome Guy's basically out of Wrath, Swipe, and Force of Nature, and Keeper of the Grove. I think he might have one Wrath in his deck, if I recall correctly. So taking extra damage on your minions isn't really as big of a deal as it is normally. So he could even play out this Frothing and this Unstable Ghoul, just max out his Frothing's damage, and set up for lethal next turn.
Would it be BGHable?
I think that's the one thing you'd want to calculate out. He could make it a 5 attack minion, that way it's not hero power BGHable.
Yeah.
But instead he made it a 2 attack, which is very strange to me. He could have at least made it a 4 attack.
I like the Sludge Belcher really well here. Nothing really trades on it efficiently, and then if you play Dr. Boom, there's so much potential to get killed.
Ooh, is this it? So you get 2?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, it's a lot of damage. You obviously start with the slam.
You can kill the...
You get an extra damage. You get an extra 2 damage from the War Song.
Yeah, Whirlwind first.
You Whirlwind, then go in with the Unstable, then go in with your... Yeah, this has to be it.
Yeah, that's...
It's going to be 2 Whirlwinds on 6 targets, which is at least 12, and he can get through the taunt.
I think Frothing's at 18 or 20 by the end of this.
And this is going to take us to Game 5. Handsome Guy cannot get a win with this Druid.
Well, the last game is Druid versus Hunter, right? I think it's
yeah. Yep. So, PB Cookie has suddenly tied it up. Might be going into what's considered a favorable matchup. It is his, I believe, Hybrid Hunter that he has to win with. And Handsome Guy, 0-5 with this Druid deck. It's really dropped the ball for him today. It's a really bad feeling when you go into a tournament and one of your decks completely drops the ball. It happened to me before, happened to pretty much everybody at one point, and it's just horrible to feel like that. Like, maybe your skill didn't even come into play, and it was just a wrong deck choice.
Yeah, it's tough too, especially at this point, because it's not like this is the first step in the tournament. He's already had to win a lot of games with it, and then to see his deck fail so spectacularly in these matches.
He's actually he's just like physically pained by the draws he's been getting. And I mean, you do need a really good draw to beat Hunter when they have this aggressive opener, and this is not the draw to do it.
If he picks up Innervate next turn, I think he's still in an okay spot. But without an Innervate...
PB Cookie gets a 25% chance to snipe here. He's going to go for it, and now it's a 50%. His head gets a little higher. Here we go. Man. This would probably just end the... Oh, he misses. Okay. So Handsome Guy... Oh.
Doesn't even matter, though.
He's so sad. Yeah, he's taking so much damage. He definitely will need to stabilize really hard this game.
I think Hero Power is slightly better than BGH here, because you can guarantee it removes.
It nets you 1 extra health. And basically doesn't waste a Big Game Hunter. When you play Big Game Hunter, you give your opponent the option of just going face, whereas Hero Powering, you decide for them.
And then you could hope, I think you would really hope for a swipe top deck here, because especially with the Wolf Rider coming out next turn, that's what he ends up playing.
Maybe you do play BGH then, and you hope your opponent goes all face, and you top deck swipe. Maybe that's the life you're living.
Oh man, this is pretty tough for the Druid, though.
Yeah. It's just the nightmare. Going 0-6 with your Druid, getting double Leopardomed, Huntered down in Game 5.
Picking up Innervate's not too bad either. You get Innervate to Force of Nature.
Yeah, I think the bow top deck is actually really important. Surprised he plays it, though.
Yeah, me too.
I think Wolf Rider was just better, but he does set up more damage over 2 turns this way. Not sure it matters much. Is that it? That's it.
Yeah. Well.
It's a bit of an anticlimactic Game 5, and definitely not what Handsome Guy wanted to see. Must feel bad for him. Of course, he still picks up 5 GEICO points and a World Championship point as well, so not walking away empty-handed, and he did get 4th out of, a couple hundred people, so not the worst result. He can always try later. There are 16 of these cups. This is only the 3rd for North America. There are 8 for North America, 8 for Europe. You can go to liquidheart.com to sign up for those. There's actually a European tournament tomorrow. And if you also want to enter a sweepstakes to win a PC from iBuyPower, you can go to geico.onog.gg and enter that during this quick break. And after we're back, we will have the grand finals
between VX and
Juked.
Juked, right.
Yep.
So we get to see the Priest match again, which will be awesome.
Yeah, Priest and Shaman coming out in the grand finals.